I would like to thank Jazmine Ransom for joining me today. Jasmine is a good friend of mine that I met out in the Bay Area. She happens to be a realtor in the Bay Area. And we connected through a good mutual friend of ours, James. We've been friends for a couple years now, and I'm really excited to have Jasmine here on What Drives You, our first virtual interview. So, welcome, Jasmine, to What Drives You. So, to kind of kick things off, I would like to know, what is your story? Who is Jasmine Ransom, and who is the fancy realtor?
Um, who am I? Well, um, I'm this young woman. I was born and raised in Detroit, Michigan. I am a world traveler, not just a person who travels, but who also have lived abroad in many countries. Um, I wear many hats, but first, of course, I love my family. I love spending time with loved ones, my friends. I love God. And if anything, I really enjoy being like this peace for people around me and people that I don't know. I like bringing joy to others. So if I had to talk about like who am I? Who am I? Just as Jasmine in general, that's who I am. But if we talk about the fancy realtor, I'm that plus doing my job. And all I do is just fancify and make people's lives more amazing than what they are through their journey of either buying or selling real estate.
Okay.
So pretty much I'm a vibe.
I like that. I like that. So you say you've traveled to a lot of different countries, lived other places. What are some of the other countries that you've lived in?
I have lived in Brazil and Turkey.
Okay, nice.
Hmm.
I asked because I too am a world traveler. I was born in Bermuda, so United States technically my second country. But I've also lived in Costa Rica for 3 months. I lived in Tokyo, Japan for 3 months. And I am on 15 countries visited and counting. So
Oh wow, you definitely have surpassed me. I am a little under 10, but I had to take a pause in my travels, but I can't wait to start back again.
great. So you love to travel. You love to help people and be the vibe and enhance their life. What has made you successful?
What has made me successful? That is a great question. Can I be transparent for a second?
Of course.
I think society base our success on other things as far as your impact on your family financially, your job, and what you've done and what title you may hold. But if I had to think about what makes me successful, I would like to say the relationships that I have around me. That's what makes me feel really successful. Because to maintain genuine relationships and then be in a relationship driven business, but also be able to maintain those actual relationships on the back end minus work is what makes me a successful individual. I am just as the people who push me, who are in my corner, who are rooting for me when I'm not my best and when I am, that's me.
Yeah, I like to ask that question because I don't really have a definition of success. Everyone defines success differently. Some is financial, some it's, how much time they have. But asking what makes you successful kind of helps me learn what you define success as, and then also gives you an idea of what motivates you and what's driving you to that success. So I guess I kind of a follow up to that question is, what are some of the things that drive you? What makes you get up every morning and do what you do?
What drives me and make me get up every morning is the fact that I want to have more of my time back. Um, I don't even know if this is even going to put me in a really weird position, but one thing I said I'm going to do this year is walk in my truth and be authentic. I am tired of hustle culture. And what makes me get up every single day is the fact that I know if I bust my butt today, I won't have to do this hustle culture forever. So
Mm,
I define my why and my reason for me being able to have my time back. I want to be more present so that I can continue to build those relationships in my life. Because again, I define my success based on the kind of relationships I have around me, the people I have in my sphere. And I would like to say I am very, very freaking rich because people I have around me, I know for a fact most people ain't got those kind of people in their corner. Like, I got friends I can call it right now and I say what it is, and it's about to happen. Okay, give it
yeah.
10 minutes, it's about to happen. And in order to maintain that and really be present and be able to spend more time with my parents and my family, I need more time, right? I
Mm,
can pay people to do things for me, that's great, but it's nothing like being fully immersed in events and situations and the before and the after. And that's something that really drives me, if you
mhm.
will.
Yeah.
So that's
No, I
super important to me.
they say time is the ultimate luxury.
Mhm.
Um, I you mentioned like, paying people to do stuff. I think that is a great concept for those who actually want to value their time. Um, is paying someone to do the things that take away time from those experiences where you get to incorporate into other people. So, like, say you're an event planner, you can pay someone to schedule everything out for you so that you can be the one to actually, hosting and talking to people, or you can be a bartender, you can be a DJ, you can serve the drinks, you can get the music going, but then that doesn't give you the time to go in and actually network with everyone and mix and mingle and have conversations. Hey, you guys good over here? You good over there? And that's what paying people for their time and for uh, so that you can buy back your time to do the things that you really enjoy and really love. I
Mhm.
think that's a great concept. That's what something that I struggle with. Uh, I am a control freak. I like to do things. I don't like waiting on things to get done. I like, if I have it in my mind to do it, I'm gonna do it. Like, when it comes to me like editing and videos and shooting the stuff, it's just like to me, I'm holding myself to accountable for it. I don't have any um, editing team or anything like that. I'm learning as I go and trying to do it. At some point, I would like to relinquish that because editing is not the most fun thing to do. I'm not at that point yet, but I'll get there because I
You
do want to
will,
buy.
and then Fiverr and Thumbtack will help you.
Yeah, because I do want to buy back that time to where that I can really encourage or really spend time doing other things that I love. I tried to be with my daughter today. Audio didn't work for whatever reason, but we had a good conversation. And my daughter said, what she likes is when we do our dance battles and singing competitions. And so she really values those that when we're spending time together. She hates when I sit there and I'm reading a book and she's nearby playing. She's like, I want you to play with me. Um, it's not read your book. You're always reading a book. You're reading a book. Oh, you're reading. That was her words, but that
So we
time
can read together.
I do try to read with her. We do read every night. Um, she was homesick today, so she was homesick. So I had to take her to the office because I had to do some stuff in the office today. I actually led a panel discussion for Black History Month today, and had some agents that came in from different parts of the state to speak in front of our audience. And so I brought her with me, and of course, in the office, she's fine. She's over here. She's doing this. She's mingling. She's a very much of an extrovert. She was trying to organize a dance party in the office. I don't know where this comes from. Uh, so she was with me, like most of the day and stuff like that. And uh, of course, I'm one of those millennial parents that puts the child on the iPad when they're trying to get some work done. Uh, we've learned to kind of tailor what she watches to be more educational, but she likes to spend her time. And so I have a time limit. Normally, she only can watch it for an hour. That hour went up pretty quickly early in the morning, and so she's like, "Daddy, can I get some more time?" I was like, "All right, well, you got to read a book. For every book that you read, you get 15 minutes." So you know what she did? She sat down and read 4 books so she can get an hour. She was like, "I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna read this one." And then she sat down next to me, using her finger. She's only 5, so but she's actually starting to read really, really well, and she's signing out the words, and she was just going like, "Daddy, daddy, look, 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 I can." And so she got an extra hour. Uh, that was another hour for me to try to get some work done. It's not the easiest thing to do when trying to entertain a 5-year-old who is super energetic and not sick in an office and trying to do work. But it was definitely, just using that time aspect. She appreciated she values time and she knows that. But I also like to value education, and so that she's still learning while still doing that. So I have a question that I like to ask, and this one kind of can get kind of deep sometimes. Um, what is a pivotal moment that changed your life?
I have so many, if I'm just being honest.
Okay.
So maybe you could help me out by maybe saying pivotal moment that caused me to either transition in careers or shift my attitude or my mindset or just anything
Yeah.
like that. Because I was recently on a call with the founder of my brokerage, and he said,
Mhm.
there's two important days of your life: the day you're born and the day you find out why.
Mm.
Yeah. So when we talk about pivotal moments, there's so many that just clicked. I can actually tell you about a recent one.
Okay. Go ahead and share the recent one.
This one's easier, and I don't want to get people all emotional because I am a chatty Cathy. Okay, so if I'm being a little bit short on answers, it's because I want to be respectful of the time, and I want to keep it as straight to the point as possible. But as you know, because we're friends, I can go
Yep.
on and on and on like Energizer Bunny. So, um, Brett was like, "Okay, we're gonna talk about, like, the 7 levels of consciousness, right? And where
Mhm.
exactly do you sit or where do you fall?" So anyway, we get into this deep meditation, and after we go through the 7 levels of consciousness, and he talks about this meditation, and from what I can remember, I've meditated before, so I can slip into deep meditation really quickly, and the fact that I'm also trying to clear, like, my arsenal in my body and everything by and not eating meat, I can get there quicker.
Mhm.
And he said, "Imagine you're walking down the aisle, you see these people there, friends and family, loved ones." Of course, I see my ancestors. I'm like, "Okay, hey, what's up? Y'all always popping up on me, but hey." I'm walking down the aisle. He said, "You see a box?" I'm like, "Okay, we see a box." And he say, "It's you." I'm like, "It's me." I'm balling. I'm balling. I'm talking like I'm at my own funeral. I'm not making
Mm.
this up. So it was one of the most amazing exercises. At the time, it was very intense for me because I did like start to cry because I got a chance to hear how other people thought about me. I didn't make this up. This is all within my subconscious and within meditation. And
Mhm.
it was a pivotal moment because I am a semi-perfectionist. I won't say I'm a control freak because I'm really good at letting people do their own thing. And I feel like you're not moving fast enough for me. I started to put you on a time limit.
Mhm.
That's just typically I have no micromanage blood in me whatsoever. It is the
Yeah.
most irritating thing for me to do. If I had to micromanage you, I might as well fire you because I just
Yeah.
don't have time and I don't have the energy. And with me being a creative, it's really important to let people be.
Yeah.
So going back to the thing, I was there and I'm thinking to myself, hear all these people say what they wanted to say about me. Like my boyfriend was there and my mom was there, my sister, one of my friends that I was went to high school with, he was there. And I had so many people there that loved me and talked about the things that they missed about me and I was gone too soon. How I was free spirited, loving, thoughtful, kind, always willing to help somebody. Um, Such a joy to others. When I come into a room, it was like always a burst of light, what you could
Mhm.
expect, and how I really lived life on my own terms, and how they considered me to be so successful and accomplished so much in my short life. And just to hear somebody say that, mind you, I know it's not real, but in my head, it felt so real. In my body, it felt so real. And I
Mhm.
was crying for like at least 30 minutes. I had to come out of meditation because I just couldn't take it no more. And the reason why that was a pivotal moment for me because I realized at that very second, am I allowed to swear?
Yeah. This is
Oh, okay.
this is
I had to
this is a safe
ask.
space.
And
Yeah,
I had to ask. So I wanna be as authentic as possible. So
of
I
course.
just
I want you to be
in
yourself.
my
So,
head I was like, "Bitch, you that girl. You are that girl." Like, don't let nobody tell you different. You that girl. You might not be exactly where you want to be, but you're that girl. And you need to start celebrating yourself more. You need to stop punishing yourself for where you feel you need to be because where you are today is where you need to be. That's where God wants you to be.
yeah,
So quit worrying about what other people are saying and how they make you feel. How do you feel about yourself? Because this is how you make people around you feel, which is love. You make them
mhm,
feel good. And that's important to me. And that's like a good legacy to leave behind. There are some
yeah,
people out here who live in foul lives. And they think people like them. They don't like them. You got fake people all around you. And to have genuine love like that, people who really feel like you impacted their life and with you gone, it's just not gonna be the same. That touched me to a whole nother level, another capacity. That's the reason why I was able to answer your question in the beginning
mhm,
about the things that are important to me. And now talked about my time and my relationships because to have that happen not even just a week ago, it was a pivotal change for me. And it said, Jasmine, we're gonna show ourselves more kindness. We're gonna respect ourselves more. The same respect you're expecting others to give you, you're gonna give yourself. The same time, you deserve to take a day off. I work 7 days a week. I'm always on. It's not a time my
yeah,
phone don't ring and somebody say, "Jasmine, can you do something for me?" Imma say yes. "Jasmine, can I come see this house? Let's pull up. You wanna see it in 45 minutes? I can stop what I'm doing." No more of that. I need to have solid boundaries in my life. I need to create some
mhm,
sense of balance so that I can have memories, and it made me think about how I missed out on so many, um really good moments because I was always working, always chasing, always hustling, and even impacted past relationships, if I'm to be honest.
mhm,
And it just made me think in that moment doing that meditation, Jasmine, this is who you're born to be. If I took more of who I am, which is a lover of fashion, a lover of my community, being around people that really make me happy, fellowshipping, and I bring that into my business, I won't need to feel like I need to create these separate level of boundaries for real estate or anything that I'm doing because I'm just being me. So,
yeah,
that was my pivotal moment, and it just made me really wanna love myself and hug myself a little bit more. So I
okay.
really hope I answered your question. So
No, yeah, that definitely because now I'm not one that can meditate. Uh, I've tried, I've done everything. My as soon as I start like going into one thought or deep thought, then my brain starts like activating and triggering, and I start thinking of, oh, I can do this. Let me do this. Let me reach out to that person. I haven't talked to them in a while. Let me. I'm like, it is what it is. Uh, I know that about myself. I've come to accept it, and I'm just trying to move forward with it. But trying to turn that into a superpower. Uh, I know that I have a short attention span. I know that I focus sometimes isn't the easiest thing for me. But when I do something and I sit down for, that 10, 15, 20 minutes, and if commit to it, I can do really good stuff with it. And so that's just kind of like, for me, that's how, I guess that's something that I've come to more of a recent realization, is a pivotal moment of turning that short attention span or whatever into into my superpower. Because I I'm like you. I feel that I'm great. I'm a great person to be around. I create great energy. I try to be positive and uplifting to most people, um, and most people would agree with these things. Uh, but that's not to say that there's not room for improvement, and I can't do better, um, especially in some other parts of my life. But uh, being able to like just provide the good energy and trying to be that good person around people. And just, I wrote it on Facebook the other day. I'm just thankful for everyone that can actually, that actually remembers me when I hit them up randomly. And I'm just saying to say hi. Like, I just generally like randomly have a thought about someone. Hey, how's it going? Something popped into my head. You came up. I haven't spoken to you in a while. How you doing? How's the kids? How's the family? Where you at in life now? What state, what country you living in? Those kind of questions, and then that's it. We have our moment, and then it's fleeting. And so everything happens for a reason. I've been really like letting go a lot lately. The universe has been kind of like just universing um, for me,
University.
and, and uh, like I'm starting to learn a little bit more about myself. I don't know. Sometimes I just have to let go and like let my light shine. Uh, I There have been parts of my life where I felt like I've either been humble because I don't feel like bragging, or I don't want to sound like I'm braggadocious, whatever, or I dim myself down because I don't feel like I'm in a position where I'm like successful or anything like oh, my pocket's hurting and I can't shine because I'm broke right now. Like no, and I don't know. I'm gotten to a point now where like no matter what situation I'm in, like I just have to let my light shine and be as much of who I am as I can be. Um, Try to live in my truth as much as I can. We all put on a face every day for people, um, and it's definitely freeing when you can put on your authentic self. I also struggle with understanding like what parts of me are authentic and which parts of me are trauma responses. Uh, you know, Growing up and how I lived and moved around a lot, what parts of me is actually just a part of who I am versus you know responses of my environment. So that's
Right.
something that I'm kind of struggling with.
I wanted to just tell you, I agree with you. I struggle with the same thing. It kind of goes into what you asked as far as what makes me successful. And I had to think about it. I'm like, I used to base my success on my job title and how much investments I had and this person's doing this or this person's doing that, or I feel so behind, or I haven't hit my own goals. Like I've never been a person that wanted to be like someone else. I just wanted to hit my own goals. I wanted to be my
Yeah.
own badass, right? And because
Mhm.
I know my goals big and my dreams are big. So I was just like, if they doing this and I ain't even hit this, what the freak? Like it's no way I'm successful. And it really took some situations happening to me for me to really get humbled and understand. And that's why that whole situation that I mentioned before about the planning your funeral and the meditation, it really brought things into perspective. It was really pivotal for me. So my mindset's a little bit different now.
Yeah.
And I 100% agree with you. So I want to commend you for authenticity. It's not an easy thing to do, but it is the most comfortable thing to do because it's just you. You're you.
Yeah. I'm gonna flip the order of these questions just because uh, the kind of where the conversation is going.
Hmm.
Um, but what do you want to be remembered for?
Wow, taking me back down memory lane of a couple of days ago. What do I want to be remembered for? I would love to be remembered for um how I made people feel. I want them to never forget
And
that ever.
yeah,
There's going to be plenty of women around. There's going to be many of everything, but there will never be another Jasmine. And I want people to be like, dang, I wish Jasmine was here. Dang, I
yeah,
really miss Jasmine. Like, Jasmine would have did it like this. Like, dang, that's my girl. I want people to be like, it was such a pleasure. It was an honor to know her, to be in her presence.
feel
I
that.
want I want I want people to be like, I learned so much from you. Whether it was good or bad, I don't care. We all learn it. But that's what I want to be remembered for. I want to be remembered for my heart, how hardworking I was, and how I made people feel. That's just what I want to be remembered for. That's it. And I want to
Okay.
be remembered for not giving a fuck, like just doing whatever I want. It's my life. I do what I want.
Right. That's dope. I really respect that. Um, because there's a quote that says people don't remember what you said, but they remember how you made them feel.
Mhm.
And uh, that's something that I try to aspire to. I haven't always been this well polished of a person. Uh,
Okay.
I there were parts of there were parts of my life where I even celebrated being an asshole, and it was like, I'm just an asshole, like whatever, like.
Really? I
Mhm.
can't see that. No, Nico.
And see, that's the
I
thing.
can't
Like
see that.
nobody ever believes me when I say these things because I've always looked like I'm innocent. I've always uh, gotten away with stuff. Like what I was saying, what I was feeling, and how I would react to people and respond to people. I definitely have been more on that side. But I've grown, I've matured. Um, learning. Some of that might have been trauma responses. I moved around a lot as a kid, so I was always the new kid. You either get teased, picked on. I had big ears, all this type of stuff. I had an accent at the time. Uh, Everything about it kind of morphed me and changed me into who I was. And also, too, I used to feel like I used to get taken advantage of a lot. I was really nice in school and like let people help people out and stuff. And people stole from me. People took stuff. People took things. So I was like, you know what? I'm not going to be that anymore. I'm just going to be an asshole. Since everybody, you know, the nice guy finishes last, or what, that typical phrase. Um, but I've had to step away. I've kind of evolved from that, where I'm not an asshole or I'm not like an asshole for the sake of being one. Uh, but I am starting to like take parts of that where I am standing in what I believe in instead of what I'm firm in. And, depending on who it is that's interacting, they may not like it. And if they don't like it, it is what it is at that point. That's just life. Now, I'm not going out and being malicious, not trying to be hurtful or intent. I'm not saying that everything that I've done is everything that I'm doing when I'm standing in my truth is uh, the most positive for someone else, or not hurtful or anything like that. But it is what I believe and how I feel, and that's all I can present. I can give you the option to take it or leave it, and I have to live with whatever decision you make based upon that that kind of that choice. Um, and so that's just I don't know. I want to be remembered for someone who's been good to you or caused an emotion, made you feel something. Um, because I never try. It's very rare. I'll say that. I won't say never. Very rare that I've attacked someone or went at someone maliciously just because it's usually coming from a place of love. I want to see you improve. I want everyone to say that like, oh, like, Tanigo was only in my life for a short period of time, but uh, what he said was right, like, or he gave me some game that really helped, or you know, I should listen to him sooner, or just you know, because not to say that I'm right all the time, but I like to approach things and give people observations of stuff that try to elevate them, and not everyone wants that elevation at the time. Learning how to deliver that kind of message also is important as well, because not everyone wants feedback. But those are some of the things that I kind of want to be remembered for. Is like, how did he make me feel? Was it more of a net positive than negative? And again, I wish he was still here to crack jokes and have a good time, and uh, pour up a drink with me. I resonate exactly with what you feel. I think that's why we're friends because of that. We kind of
Yeah,
both have that same more similar mindset. So
I'm happy
now,
we're friends.
me too. We've been good friends for a good long time, and uh, I'm really excited to see what successes that you have and in all your endeavors that you're building and working on, because I know that you are a hardworking person, and but you are a great time to be around. Um, and so I'm really looking forward to everything that you're able to do.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to being your butt on the golf course, though. I'm gonna have to wait for you to come to Cali, or I gotta come to Charlotte.
Now, my very last question, because the show is called "What Drives You." If money were no object, responsibilities or whatever, you didn't really have to worry about kids or anything like that. What would be your dream car?
What would be my dream car? My dream car used to be in high school a Bentley Continental GT.
Mhm.
I've been around Bentleys, and no, not for 300K with the double stitching and quilted leather. Mm, no, I think I'll pass. I dated this guy once and he got me into McLarens. Just want to race one. Don't want to own it. I really like Paganis. They're kind of ugly, but they're really fast. But it's not an
The
everyday
Wyra is one of my
car.
favorite cars. So yeah,
You said which one?
the Wyra.
Okay. Yeah, so I was like, no, not spending about 6 million on a freaking car with the freaking mirrors on the fender and a
Remember,
two-seater.
money is no object in this question. So
I know, but I'm just saying,
if
like, I
You ain't gotta
mean,
worry about the price. You ain't gotta.
who's gonna be in the car with me? Like, I mean, the
That's up to
fender is
you.
ugly. Like, I mean, I'm just saying, where am I going? Okay, what? How much I spend on the car? It's a great
It
question. You know what? I would get that Lambo truck.
okay. The yours.
The l Yeah, that Lambo truck looked nice.
No.
But, honestly, I would just rather have a driver because 'cause I'm lazy and I like to be catered to. I do. I wanna be catered to, so
I tell you,
I just rather have someone drive me around in a fancy ass car.
nice. No, the yours is a beautiful truck. Like I love like that is like what I can see that.
Can I
I
have a
thought you can
list of
say
cars? I want that.
sure.
I want the Lucid. I want my driver to drive me in the Cadillac Escalade extended version or the Suburban extended,
Mm.
and yeah, that's it. I mean, if I could get a freaking plane, that'd be the best vehicle, a commercial
No, I
aircraft.
feel you. I thought I my guess for you would have been G wagon. Uh,
Okay, so that's the thing. I'm not that is other people in my life. They love G-Wagon. G-Wagon, again, I used to work with cars. A lot of cars,
mhm.
they are not worth all the hype. So
Oh, I know, but
when you're around luxury all the time and see hella cars, you don't get excited. To be honest with you, I just want to race these cars. I want to drive a Ferrari. I want to race them. I want to go on a racetrack and shoot a crazy sick video and just do really righteous stuff, you know? And
yeah,
I just want to like really race them, like race them. But I don't want to kill myself, of course. But I'm not the greatest driver, but I do like thrill in my life. But yeah, no.
I feel you on the luxury cars. Some of them look better than others. Like my friend used to have a Maserati Quadriport, and the car itself sounded great driving, and it was it looked really beautiful. Uh, it didn't have a radio system, which is horrible. Like I don't want to spend that much money on a car that doesn't have a nice sound system. Like I gotta need to enjoy my music too while I'm driving. Like I'm not just trying to hear the engine all the time. Uh,
Yeah, that's true.
and
Oh, you got a good point. I love that Porsche Panamera GT though. I'm still 50-50 if I would even want that as a dream car, but it's
that
still
is
on my
mine.
list.
That's the next car I want to get. So my very first car it was my Volkswagen GTI, which is I got 2016 GTI. Bought it used, 40,000 miles on it. It's a beautiful, nice little zippy car. Kind of gets around. Um, it's a decent sized family car because my kids can fit in the back seat while I can still, move how I like to move when I'm driving. But my goal for my next car would be the Panamera, either the
Me too.
Panamera or the Macan. I have
Listen, they drive nice. Have you driven them?
yeah, the Macan GTS is nice too.
Hella
So
fast.
uh, if if I do upgrade or when I upgrade to a larger car, it'll be one of those two. Well, Jasmine, thank you so much for having this conversation with me, sharing your story and giving me some great insights. I wish I could meditate and see the stars and stuff too. Uh, I have a few ancestors that I would love to get to know, but I still have some ancestors that are still living. My great grandmother is still alive. I spoke to her on FaceTime a couple weeks ago, and
Wow.
I want to take my kids to meet her. My daughter's met her before, but my son hasn't yet, and so that would be literally 5 generations of family, um, all together. My great grandmother is 96. My grandfather is 78. My dad is 58. I'm 35, and then I have almost 6 year old, a 5 year old, and a 1 year old. So uh, all still living and breathing and in good health. My great grandmother, she lives by herself. She still got all her senses about her. So likes to crack jokes.
Okay,
She
yeah, I need you to find out the secret what she did so I can work on my way to get to 96. Because that's a big deal. Like that's awesome. Still living by
uh,
herself at 96.
mhm. Like her, she has family member that like kind of stays with her or stays in an adjacent apartment, but she's on her own most of the time.
Yeah.
Um,
See, that's what drives me to live a
mhm.
long life.
Yeah, no, I definitely uh, want to live a long life. I've lost some family members along the way, as I shared in my last video. Um, and life is definitely precious, but I definitely want to live uh, as long as I can. So
Yeah, that's true. Well, I want to say thank you so much for having me. It was fun interviewing with you. I always enjoy our chats now that this one is going to be actually broadcasted. But I always enjoy our chats. We always talk about really good stuff. And I wish you success on what drives you. I know it's just going to continue to get better and better. And you're going to do some awesome stuff with this platform. So I'm sending you love and success on this, truly. Number blessings.
thank you so
Don't
much.
stop. Don't
I'm
stop.
not
Please don't.
stopping. Trust me, I'm not stopping. It's like re-energizing me as a person just to be able to put stuff out. Just got to do it now and just keep doing it and stay consistent and try to make every video better than the last.
So, with that being said, don't you stop and make sure you keep showing up in them videos. And I look forward to continuing to follow you. And again, thank you so much for having me on.
You're welcome.
Alrighty.